Hello and welcome to another episode of JCServant Plays. I am your host Phil, aka JCServant, and this is another Monster Hunter Rise training video, tips video, however you want to call it. Probably training's probably a better title, so should have called them training videos. But today we're going to show you how to hunt a large monster. Now, as has been the case with the first two videos I did, I'm only going to go over those systems that I feel are necessary to help you in the hunt for a large monster, right? We're going to go through things rather quickly because the idea behind these videos is to get you in and get you to the fun stuff fast. So I'm not going to be going over how to do things with your palicos or whatever have you, because it's not necessary for your first handful of hunts and stuff, right? You can actually just get in there as long as you follow the first two videos. So the first video focused on how to explore, how to use the wire bug to get around so you can collect ores and bones and get your weapons leveled up a little bit. You need that. It's huge. Those first few upgrades are really huge. You're talking increases of 20, 50, 80%, right? In your DPS, which means you're going to cut the time you need to hunt monsters down by minutes. And when you're farming up a monsters to get through the story or to gear up, that's going to make that process faster. Our second video focused on your approach for hunting smaller monsters, which is also very useful. Those tips that are in there will help you make the most of the time that you spend doing small monster hunts. Now we're actually going to go ahead and do a large monster hunt. So with that being said, we're going to get into the video here, and we'll use the full screen on this one. And here's our hunter again, and we have our palico and our palamute. They're going to be coming with us as we go to hunt the big monster. Now that we're hunting big monsters, it's time to talk about eating, because you don't want to go out on an empty stomach. Hunters fight on their stomach, so you're going to want to come over here to the canteen, and there's one inside the multiplayer hub if you're playing multiplayer, and you want to come down here and just order your dangos or whatever they're called. So you want to eat a meal. I don't feel in the early game it's super important which of these things you pick. So I'm not going to go over them in great detail. But suffice to say, you can read through these, and down at the bottom, you're picking 3 dango balls, and each one of them provides different types of benefits. So read through the bottom, pick what looks best to you. Some of them are a little bit more geared towards combat, some are more geared towards gathering. Generally speaking, I think you can just go for the gathering ones, and that's what I tend to do. I also use the Dango Medic, which gives you a little bit more boost out of your healing items, which you can see there. I'm using the Dango Gatherer, which helps gathering honey, I believe, or items. And the Dango Trainer, which is going to help your Palico or Palamute level faster. And I'm sure that's going to change as I go on. These are the beginning stuff. These are the beginning Dangos right here. You can register your Dango as a set so that you can come down here to order the usual, and then you can just have that favorite Dango set right there. And I suggest you do that because you're going to be eating before every fight to get the most out of it. So you probably should go ahead and just make them shortcuts so you don't have to pick them individually. We'll skip the animation. You can watch that for yourself. First Dango, but you can press the button to skip the animation and not watch the team there make it. Now, you also want to go ahead and gather some items for most of low rank, honestly, until you get to like 4-star or so. You only need some basic items. Okay. First, I'm going to go ahead and put everything away that isn't really important here. The big things you need for particular hunts are potions, herbal medicines, and well done steaks. You only need mega potions if you're not too good and you get hit a ton. Regular potions will do the trick just fine. Plus, the game's going to give you some potions at the beginning of the hunt, so I'm not even too worried about mega potions. You can usually use antidotes. I happen to have herbal medicines, which are a step up from antidotes. Either one will get rid of poison, but herbal medicine will also restore some health while it's doing it. So I tend to bring that. Numerous monsters poison you in the game, so even some of the small monsters do. So I never leave without some remedy for poison in my inventory. And then you want some source of food, well done steak, rations, and the such. All right. Now, if you need to make some of those outside of the well done steaks, you can actually craft stuff right here. And potions and mega potions are right here at the top. And so it'll tell you one herb makes a potion. Hit the button, you'll start cranking out potions. You can even tell it to make a bunch at once. The second thing here is mega potions, which will give you a lot more health. And you can craft a bunch of those. For really tough fights, like the 5-star urgent, I took both, and I ended up using both because that guy was tough and I got hit a lot. So you can grab both those, and then here's your antidote right here, which only takes antidote herbs. Now, usually when you're out in the field and you pick up these herbs, they'll automatically convert to antidotes and potions. But if you grab extras and you're already full up on potions, the herbs will just stick with you until you get back to town. You put them back in the box, and then you'll need to create them here in the creation menu. For now, that's all you need to worry about. That's it. There's a lot of other stuff on the list. If you really want to go through that stuff, you can. We might go through them on a future video, but that's all you need to do to get out on your first level hunt is grab those couple of things. So we'll go over anything else as we're out in the field. But let's go ahead and come up to our quest friend here, and let's grab our first star urgent. I think it's the first star urgent quest. And I don't honestly remember what it was. So none of the first star quests are against a big monster, but after you got through with those, there would have been an urgent quest. I think the urgent quest might have been against Azeroth. I'm not sure. Possibly Lagambi. We'll go ahead and do the Arzuros. Okay, I really do like Arzuros armor. And in fact, for kicks and giggles, guys, I'm going to show you what the Arzuros armor looks like. Because I'm going to switch out to my Arzuros set. So this is the Arzuros armor. Let me turn on... I got the helmet turned on because I like the hair to show. But here's the Arzuros armor that you actually make out of this bear. We'll be using that, so we really will be fighting with the same difficulty in terms of the damage we sustain that you will if you were to farm this guy up, which makes a huge difference. Now, when you're fighting him, you probably don't have a full gear of Arzuros. You probably just have the gear from ores or whatever it may be. If you're following my earlier tips, you should at least have a set of ore armor. You don't necessarily need it to fight this guy. The healing potions will get you through, but you will be more vulnerable to being KO'd quickly if you're a little sloppy. So keep that in mind. 3 KOs means that the hunt is over and you have to start over again. So it's important that you gear up the ore armor, I think, if you are a little bit sloppy. The cool thing about Monster Hunter is if you're really good at these action games, you play Dark Souls, things like that, you don't really need to do a lot of farming at all. You can just work your way through these monsters, and it's not a problem. So, you still want to follow those earlier tips I told you. Even on a big monster hunt, you still want to grab some of these early ores and stuff. If you talk to all the villagers, which by now you probably should have taken a few minutes out to at least talk to all the ones that want to talk to you, you'll get a great wire bug, which gets you up here really quick. You'll get a few great wire bugs, and you can plant them at those lilies in order to create shortcuts to get up here faster and get your mining outcrop right away, just like that. Okay. Oops, I almost forgot. We're gonna go back to the camp real quick here. So at the very beginning of any hunt, you want to come up to the blue box here, and you want to go ahead and grab the rations and the stuff that's in the box. A lot of this is ammunition for your ranged weapons if you use ranged weapons. Even if you don't, you can always grab those items and save them for later. Now, this is your tent. We haven't really talked about your tent before, but if you go into here, you can you can come here and you can eat a meal if you forgot to eat in town to get that health buff. You can change out your Palico and Palamute if you needed to. You can also change out your items if you forgot to bring healing potions. Heck, if you're halfway through a fight and you're running low, you can come back to the tent and get more healing potions, and that'll work too. Um, so kind of keep that in mind. All right. So we're ready to go and hunt the bear. Now, the nice thing about new Monster Hunter here is that it tells you pretty much where the monster's at. You don't have to spend a lot of time running around the map looking for the monster. And unlike Monster Hunter World, you don't have to look for a bunch of clues. You can just get out there and find the monster. Now, the mini-map's in the lower left-hand corner. You can hold down the minus sign to blow that up really big to see where the monsters are at. Usually, if you've never run into the bear before, fought him before, he'll show up as question mark. But you can figure out, okay, that question mark is probably the bear. So kind of keep that in mind. I fought bears before. Arsaros. I'm just gonna call them bears. I'm gonna be honest. I can never remember what the guy is. So I'm just gonna go after him. And there's a couple of different ways to get to him because he's over in number 6. But I am gonna take the scenic route because again, gathering stuff is important. And I've got this little track down now where I just come up here and grab a couple of things and grab my bones from number 3. What do we have here? You kind of get used to doing these runs real quick for items along the way. Every map has usually has an ore and a bones pile that is somewhere nearish to your beginning base, but a little out of sight. And you do have to kind of look around, and once you get used to them, you kind of get used to hitting them every time. So here's our bear friend. He's going for his honey. We're going to take his honey. We do like our honey. And he's right there. You also notice when we take the honey, it turned our potions into mega potions automatically. So now he's really, really cranky at us. Look at him go. He's going to be very cranky. So we're going to break out our weapon and get ready to fight here. He will learn to dodge a lot. Now, oops. Wow, he does turn around quick. Let me tell you, he is a tough customer for an early fight. I will totally admit that. He is KO'd a number of us in our early fights with him, and he might even KO me here because talking and fighting at the same time means that I lack some of the concentration I normally have. Now, the sword and shield does have the defensive capabilities of the shield, of course. I generally recommend that you dodge when you can and only use the shield as a last resort when he's really caught you wide open. You gotta watch out for this guy because a lot of monsters you'll attack from the side or behind since their big mouth isn't there with all their teeth and their claws and stuff. But this guy here, it doesn't really matter with him because he'll attack you from behind. He'll sit on you. Oh, look, I like how the dog just starts chomping on his back. That's hilarious. But he'll sit on you. He does these big, wide, arcing swipes that'll hit to the side. So you really want to be careful there. You want to move around a lot. You don't want to stay still for too long. Like I just did right there, and now he's got a hold of me. Oh, look at that. He's just having his way with me right there because he caught me with my hands down. Luckily, he got distracted by some honey through my character. Get back up, please. He's actually eating honey to restore himself. We're going to use our shield to knock him around a bit. So, when if you notice also in the upper left-hand corner is a little symbol showing my weapon, and it used to have some green and now it's down to the yellow. Your weapon wears down as you take damage. You will want to sharpen that. Against early monsters, yellow will work, but it does do reduced damage. So generally right in the middle of a fight, it's up to you whether you want to basically run away and get some distance to sharpen your weapon, because if you do anywhere close to him, he's going to take advantage of you. I'm going to show you right here. Sometimes you can get in a quick sharpen when he is focused on one of your pals here. And again, as I mentioned in a previous video, there's 2 ways to access your item. You can use the item wheel like this, hold down the shoulder button. It's press up here, and then let go of up, and you'll automatically start sharpening as soon as you let go of up. He's a little exhausted. Monsters do get worn out as they fight, especially if you have something like the exhaust potion or something. And you can just use those as opportunities to get some extra damage in. Alright, and then eventually the monster is going to get kind of cranky and run away on you. Alright, this is also another great time to just go ahead and resharpen your weapon. And stuff. You can also notice that in the upper left-hand corner, I have the green bar, which is my health, and the yellow bar, which is my stamina. You see a red outline that goes further than the yellow bar, which indicates that my maximum stamina is depleting. As my character gets hungrier and hungrier, her maximum stamina depletes. You address that by eating rations or meat. So if we hold down the left button and we press Y and A, we can scroll through our inventory there in the lower right-hand corner. Go to Easy Rations. Those are the free rations you got. And go ahead and eat those guys. You can walk while you're eating and drinking potions. You can also ride your Palamute. If you are multitasker, you can definitely run. Now, here we have our bear has run into another monster. And sometimes they'll fight. And that will allow you to take control of one monster. And I might do a tutorial video on that. It doesn't look like it's going to happen here. But there is a tutorial in the game, actually, like not just like a real well-done tutorial, like get in there and you're fighting alongside with them, and it gets you on there. And I suggest you do that. It's probably the best way to learn how to fight on top of a monster. But like I said, I might do a video on it. So we caught up to him and then he ran away again. Sometimes the monsters get a little finicky here. Okay, so he's right up there. He looks like he's back with the other monster, the Ichuki or whatever he's called, and they're going to get into a little bit of a turf war here. The turf wars in Monster Hunter Rise not quite as fun to watch as they were in Monster Hunter World, where they were pretty much choreographed and just really fun and hilarious to watch. But it does allow you, once they beat up on each other for a little bit, to actually run around using the monster. So hold down the right shoulder button to move the monster around, get some distance. We're going to get an attack in. Yay, attacks. So we beat into our bear, and now we can ride our bear, which is actually one of the fun things to do. You can beat one monster and then use the other one to beat into him. Getting used to these controls, though, in basically driving Godzilla is a bit difficult. The more you attack one monster with another monster, you will knock parts and pieces off of them that you can use for crafting. And we're just going to beat them up a little bit more. You're filling up the bar at the bottom. If you can fill up that bar at the bottom, you can do an ultimate attack. There's the bear ultimate attack here. He's just gonna go crazy. Just whack the heck out of that poor little thing. Ooh, poor guy.
How do you like that?
He's all twitching after that.
What have we here?
Once we got through that, he's decided he's had enough there. The honey and the bones at that bone pile, we were able to double dip there and pick up from that bone pile twice. Same thing with the honey. When you gather stuff early in a hunt, those spots will respawn at times, and you can get double the bonuses here. As we continue to chase after our bear friend here. Alright, we got little monsters along the way. You can kill those for extra pieces and parts. But, and usually when I'm doing hunts, I do, because you always need pieces and parts. I swear, this game is all about hoarding, so you're going to want to grab a lot of those when you can. It's go ahead and show this guy who's the main hunter here. Remember that sword and shield combo with the wire bug, holding down the shoulder button and pressing the A button gets you that that whip attack, and it's really good. You will get used to the monster patterns. I will tell you, the first time I fought this guy, I got knocked around all the time. But of course, I say that now, he's start getting knocked around again. He's upset. But as you get to know the monster patterns, you will get better, and you will learn the beauty of sticking and moving when you need to. Okay, when monsters take a lot of damage, they tend to get enraged, and when they get enraged, they attack harder, they attack non-stop, and whatever have you, and it's really rough. Now, my health's a little on the low side. You want to keep your health above half. So there's a couple ways to heal. You got these Vapor Wasps, which were from Monster Hunter World. You can grab one of those. You can use your potions from your inventory, but make sure you stay on top of your health. This is not Dark Souls. There is items, lots of healing I'm doing use here, and they're virtually limitless. And there goes Arsuros. There are other options for dealing with. We could have captured him when he got weak. We could have captured him, but we will do that in a different video, because in the 2 and 3 star categories, you're not really worried about capturing your quarry. So we're just So we're just gonna go ahead and finish him off the old-fashioned way. By pressing the A button while you're next to him, you will in fact skin him. But your first fight with him will more likely take longer than that. I am using a slightly higher level. Now, if you follow my tips and you fight as, let's say, not that I'm really great, but let's say you're fighting at the same skill I am, your fight will take a couple of minutes longer with the bone weapon. The bone weapon was like a 90 and it was yellow, so it's probably going to hit closer to 80. And this is, I think, a 100 or a 110. So you'll take a little bit longer there, but not too much longer. Okay, but then you'll have your pieces. Your quest will be complete. It's really that easy. You got tons of extra rewards, items gathered by your Palico, which are nice. Let's see what my Palico's got there. Sir Busenheimer's up to level 17. Rocky is level 20. Adrian! Can still hear that to this day. Let's load up here. Get back to town. Busenheimer's on my lap, speaking of Sir Busenheimer. And whatnot. I don't know why we're suddenly getting a cutscene when all I did was a lower level hunt. That's interesting. She's got a lot of dough coming out there. Anyways, as I'll point out here, I mentioned this before, I'll mention this again just real quick. You can come back here to the blacksmith, forge and upgrade armor, forge armor, and once you fought a monster for the first time and you've gotten some pieces, you will have his armor show up as an option on your shopping list, so to speak, and it'll tell you what you need in order to get each piece. So this Arsuros is a really good early level set. Each piece is worth 10 points. I only had to fight him twice, and you do need some warm pelts, which come from the deer, which I guess I should have showed you where the deer are at, but they're all the way in the north side of the map, all the way at the top, so it definitely comes to exploring. They're not even called deer, they're called kelpie. But you can kill the kelpie up there for some warm pelts. And you guys have been playing for hours and hours, and I've only got 6 of those warm pelts. You don't run across kelpie very often. They're usually out of the way, so you have to go out of your way to get those, to get your warm pelts that you need for the headpiece there. But most of this other stuff is really super easy. Just follow the earlier tips I got, and you will soon be rocking your full set of Lungambi gear. If you don't have all the pieces yet, like I don't here for Kadachi, you'll just see them grayed out because you don't have all the pieces yet, and it'll tell you what you need. You can actually, what you can do, let's say I want to farm up this Kadachi set, right? but I'm missing a lot of pieces. What you can do is you can press the Y for the submenu, and you can click on Add to Wish List here. And that will actually put it on a shopping list. All right, tell it where you want to put it in the shopping list. All right, and you can do that for all the pieces you want. I'm just going to do it for the helmet for the moment.
See you later.
And I'm going to show you in your start menu, you can go over to wish list anytime you want. Go to Kodachi Helm, and it'll tell you you can mouse through, or select through, I should say, the different things that you need, including the Tobi Kodachi membrane. And it gives you a very strong hint of how you get it. It says it's a film thin enough to see through, strong enough to catch the wind. It's Tobi Kodachi membrane. So you need to kill Tobi Kodachi to get a Tobi Kodachi membrane. But sometimes it'll say this piece comes from breaking its head or breaking its tail. And we'll talk more about that later. But you can easily keep track of what you want to buy with the wish list feature. So that's gonna be it for now. I believe we're gonna go ahead and call this an evening. There we go. We're gonna wave to you there and wish a happy hunt in the future. If you like these videos, you want to see more, like it, subscribe, put your comments down below, and all that other jazz. Until next time, my name is Phil, aka JCServant, hoping that all of your hunts are filled with the honey of a bear. Have a good one.